the shadows we reside, cracking codes to flip the tide. Zeros and ones our battle cry. System fall, we watch them die. Hack the gap, no turning back. Red meets blue in the cyber attack. Firewall burns, the signals cracked. Hack the gap, yeah.
Alright, Z here, and straight off the bat, let's get into the big dilemma. Are MLMs, those multi-level marketing juggernauts, just super pushy business models, or do they actually tip over into cult territory? I mean, this debate has been going around for years, and if you ever fell into a Facebook group rabbit hole, you know how much people love arguing this point. On one side, you've got academics and journalists who say cults are all about extreme devotion, chained obedience, and identity warp. And then you look at MLMs, LuLaRoe, Amway, Mary Kay, the works, and suddenly you're seeing some of the same warning signs. But not every exploitative business is a cult, right? So where's the boundary? Now, there's this framework from cult studies that shows up again and again when you try to put names to this stuff. It's called the BITE model. That's behavior, information, thought, and emotional control. It's basically a checklist for culty tactics. Are folks being told how to eat, who to talk to, what to think, how to feel? Are they isolated, info-starved, thought-policed? That's when you start moving out of bad boss land and over to cult compound territory. All this gets muddy real fast, but that's exactly what we're tackling this episode. I want to dig into mind control for a minute because, yeah, that's a loaded phrase, but it's exactly what a lot of these organizations are accused of using. Casey Bond wrote a killer piece on how both MLMs and cults deploy very similar psychological tactics, like love bombing, for one. You join up and you're hit with this fake warmth tsunami. Everyone's ecstatic. You're powerful. You're part of a special secret. Throws me right back to EMS orientation, honestly, except with less CPR and way more hashtags. Bond breaks it down. First, they hook you, through a friend or family member, never a stranger. Then the meetings start. You gotta show up. You gotta participate. Buy into the lifestyle. That love bombing fades and you're left with requirements, obligations, and a guilt trip sandwich whenever you aren't all in. Mary Kay, LuLaRoe, Unique, all the same maneuver. In cults, it's the ritual. In MLMs, it's the product party. And the high-pressure atmosphere, that's intentional. They create this atmosphere where, if you step away or start doubting, suddenly you're cut off from both a community and your own success. Hey, if you're listening, think about your life. Have you seen anything like that? Family, friends, groups that try to love bomb you, then flip it into pressure? Yeah. Cult logic creeps all over modern life. You can't talk cults or cultish MLMs without focusing on the ringleaders, the founders, the mom and dad, the vanguards. LuLaRoe had Deanne and Mark Stidham, who weren't just business execs, they were adopted as spiritual parents by thousands of sellers. NXIVM, led by Keith Raniere, spun his role way past company leader, basically pulling guru-level respect even while he was, well, allegedly branding people for loyalty points. And of course you see this playbook in the influencer hustle corner. Andrew Tate and the real world. He's the messianic Top G, idolized not just as a money guy, but as a savior from the Matrix. I'll throw in a real-world flashback. Worked security once at a crypto event. Saw firsthand how fans lined up literally hours for a handshake and selfie with a tech visionary spouting American Dream on steroids vibes. Grown adults, giddy like they'd met the Beatles crossed with Tony Robbins. You end up with a whole power structure built on fans calling you dad, followers defending you like zealots, and no one questioning authority. That spiritual obedience, that's a big red flag. Let's talk about language, because, trust me, if a group has its own lingo, you know you're deep in the woods. MLMs practically speak in code. #blessed, #bossbabe, leveling up, and escape the matrix. That isn't just marketing, it's cultural shibboleth. LuLaRoe's parties aren't sales pitches, they're blessings, complete with matching leggings and ritualistic product worship. NXIVM kept things secretive with wordplay and those infamous branding ceremonies. Tate's World? Fan page quotas, daily journal prompts, readiness drills. The in-group speaks a dialect outsiders don't get. If you have no clue what catching a unicorn is, you're not really family, are you? This language divides the world. One big family inside, lost souls or sheeple outside. I mean, maybe this sounds like a college sports club, but the difference here is the emotional hook. You're not just selling leggings or supplement powder. You're selling identity, ritual, and belonging. Anyone who's lost community will recognize how powerful that is, and how fast it can be weaponized. Here's where it gets extra cultish. Us versus them. Once you're in, people on the outside are painted as unenlightened, or worse, enemies. MLMs like LuLaRoe push you to recruit your whole life, but when friends question your posts, you're told they don't get it. Groups like Tate's Real World pin all your problems on the matrix. Outsiders are programmed to keep you poor and powerless. It's not just about mindset either. You'll hear stories of haters and negativity ruining success. So better just stop returning calls from skeptical family. Or you're told to do exactly that. When someone leaves or starts speaking truth, the narrative flips. They're bitter, weak, maybe even dangerous. Add social media and it snowballs. Echo chambers, algorithmic favoring of your in-group, and suddenly you're isolated with an army of digital cheerleaders and critics echoing those same old mantras. Basically, tech turns cultish isolation up to 11. Alright, time for the gritty details, the money. This is where the scam part can't be separated from the cult element. Stats don't lie. Somewhere between 73% and 99% of MLM reps make nothing or lose cash. LuLaRoe's opportunity started with a $5,000 buy-in, and you were expected to keep sinking money into monthly inventory just to stay active. The unicorn print is rare, they say. You gotta snatch it up. Meanwhile, the handful at the top, not talented sellers, just good recruiters, make bank off your hustle. Andrew Tate's Real World. Same nonsense. Monthly subscriptions, empty promises, gamified demands, and then upselling you into affiliate recruitment schemes. NXIVM required massive financial and labor investment, both overt and covert, and the success rate was minuscule. If you're really successful at these games, it's only because you turned into a human recruiter and convinced others to buy what you were sold. Here's where things get dark. When it all falls apart, and let's be honest, it falls apart for most, MLMs and cults alike throw the blame right back at you. In LuLaRoe, they call it a victim mindset, if you complain about losing money or piles of unsold leggings. In Mary Kay, if your sales flop, it wasn't the product or market. You just didn't want it enough. In Tate's world, you're told to work harder, sleep less, grind more. No matter the group, the emotional manipulation goes like this. If you didn't succeed, it's because you lacked faith, effort, or commitment. The system, of course, is perfect. Only the individual fails. That shame keeps people from reporting, from telling the truth, from breaking free. Quick tangent. I've seen this with phishing scam victims too. Folks blame themselves, hide that they got duped, when the reality is the system was built to con them. Psychological warfare isn't just a metaphor here, it's the whole game. Recruitment is the engine of all this. MLMs, cults, whatever, they live and die on constant internal growth. Members are nudged, pressured, sometimes straight up bullied into recruiting everyone they know. You've got peer pressure, exclusive ranks, #hustle culture on TikTok and Instagram, affiliate leaderboards, and communities that tie your status, your self-worth, to how many people you can sign up. NXIVM gamified readiness and loyalty. The real world turned affiliate links into ticket to riches fantasies. Social media micro-influencers push side hustles to turn friends into marks. And, cruel irony, they sell you on the story that you're helping others by sharing opportunity, when really, you're feeding the recruitment machine that's feeding off you. So why do some finally pull the plug and get out? It's rarely easy. For ex-LuLaRoe sellers, NXIVM defectors, or Kareem from the real world, the moment of clarity is like pulling your head out of a fog. For Sarah Edmondson, it was branding, literal burning, that shocked her awake. For others, it's grinding financial loss, ethical horror, or stumbling onto a truth bomb online. But even then, getting out is hell. Sunk cost bias hits hard. I invested so much, I can't quit. And your world is now built around the group. You risk losing friends, your purpose, even your entire identity. Amanda Montell's work and case studies show that defectors often experience disorientation and grief. like detoxing from a drug. Indoctrination runs deep. Support networks, whistleblowers, and hard journalism play a massive role, but a lot of folks never escape. The psychological hold is real. To close this out, let's hit the hardest question. Who joins these groups? You might want to think it's just desperate or broken people, but every expert, from Dr. Steve Eichel to Diane Benscotter, insists anyone can be pulled in. Most cult members are bright, optimistic, maybe just in a life transition or looking for community. Real normal stuff. Luck, timing, and circumstance matter way more than weakness. So, what does it take to resist? Is it all on the individual, or do companies, regulators, and tech platforms need to do more? Are we teaching digital literacy, emotional boundaries, critical thinking? Or are we just making it easier for the next charismatic mom or matrix abolitionist to scoop up the next wave of optimistic dreamers? I'll leave you chewing on that. This is Zealot45, and I'll catch you next time when we dig further. Stay mythic, stay questioning.
The whispers, a data stream, codes the canvas, paint the scheme. We're the ghosts inside the machine. Nothing's safe, not even your dream.